Non-Americans of Reddit. What is the craziest rumor you heard about America that turned out to be true? Surfer dudes actually speak like that. I really want to check something. In the movies, series, schools have a fluff ton of extracurricular activities and clubs. Basketball, football, swimming, cheerleaders, chess, and a lot of more. How true is that? Also, how serious are those games between schools? That people actually get attacked by alligators which got in their pools. Specifically referring to Florida here. I'm from Quebec, and when we went down to Boston for a school trip, I sneezed in public and heard 2 or 3 people say, "Bless you." Quite a weird rumor I had heard not 2 months prior to that. I thought it was nice that Dolly Parton has her own theme park in Tennessee. I thought it was a joke. I always thought that the Olive Garden in The Simpsons was just code for generic restaurant. I'm still not 100% sure is true, so hopefully can confirm. Bowie is pronounced Bowie. I studied in Maryland for about half a year back in 2017. I'd always heard that Americans are like super good at pie. I was pretty much all alone during Thanksgiving since everyone else was with their families. One of the Ross I befriended knocked on my door and brought me all different kinds of pie. Dear Lord, I've never tasted anything that delicious. From blueberry to apple to pumpkin. Every single pie. They were all amazing. All the food is bigger. I'm from Australia, and all my life I believed red Solo cups were like 555 area codes, a Hollywood prop. When I immigrated to the US, my mill was making dinner and offered me iced tea in a red Solo cup. I lost it, made everyone sign the cup. I've still got it. Free refills. Sports bars are actually exactly how they're portrayed on TV. Masked people come to your house, knock on your door asking for candy. Mostly it's just packs of kids, but sometimes whole families. This was my friend's Halloween culture shock. Drink sizes. Holy garbage. When my family visited in 2017, we landed in Texas for a stopover. First thing I saw in the shops part of the terminal was a dude who was drinking from what looked like an actual fluffing bucket. Here in NZ hour, large drinks would be considered an American. Small, or maybe medium. Not exactly crazy, but I wanted to test out the stereotype that Americans will talk to anyone, so I sought out a sports bar on my first visit. Ended up having a ton of really fun conversations with total strangers who I'll never talk to ever again. It was great. Edit. It seems Reddit likes hearing stories about this trip. So, here's another one. https reddit.com/r/murica/comments/6dxq/_dlfmhwp/ context equals 1. I shared a while back. Biscuits and gravy is a legit thing. Also, you can ride motorcycles without helmets in some states. And your iced tea isn't sweetened unless you ask for sweet. Edit. Nothing could have possibly prepared me for the absolute dichotomy of sweet tea versus iced tea in the comments. This is evidently very important to many. $2 bills. American state and national parks are some of the most beautiful places on Earth. All parks could use more funding. But American parks are well staffed and maintained. There's real pride. Crazy hospitable turned out to be true. Talkative turned out to be true as well. Removed. America has libraries that are essentially free to use. This was not even a rumor, but more like sarcastic comment from a friend who heard I was excited to go to the US because he knew what book nerds my entire family is. When I first arrived here 25 years ago, the first day of work at Newark, New Jersey, I walked out at lunchtime and saw the huge central library. The size boggled my mind, but I bravely walked in to check it out. The guy says, "Yup, show me your work ID for local address, and you get a membership card." Me, how much does it cost? I only own $80 total till I get my first pay. He, amused, almost laughing, "It's free." You don't pay anything, me. After a brief recovery time from shock. So how many books am I allowed to take home? Expecting that to be a catch, maybe I need to put down a security deposit for each book. He, now positively enjoying himself. How many can you carry? That day I took home 30 plus books. Just being greedy, and quickly called my dad to tell him about it. For a guy who painstakingly would browse used bookstores in small-town India just to get his kids great books to read, he was suitably amazed. He was puzzled if that would kill the bookstore business. Because who'd buy if such free libraries existed? Till date, I remember the gratitude I felt that day for being able to come here. And when Dad visited some years later, I would drop him off at a library on my way to work and he'd be lost in it all day. Edit. Well, a few hours of sleep and this has blown up. Guess it resonates with a lot of you. Thanks, y'all, for the plat, gold and silver. I'm humbled to address some of the comments. Yes, by take home, I meant borrowed. To return, carrying those books home has a story too. The librarian saw my dilemma and wanted to stick to his original "how many can you carry" comment and would not allow me to discard any. So went and got me 2 large bags made of cloth canvas, like grocery bags. And when I lugged all that on the train back to New Jersey that evening, I had to walk home from the train station. No car, a mile away. Normally not bad, but with those books was tedious. A cop saw me and gave me a lift home. He loved my story about the library too. India today is slightly better. But as a kid in a small town, the only library I saw was at my school, where books were never allowed to be taken home. And there was this single shop where you subscribed to borrow some pulp fiction. The Asiatic Library in Bombay was big, seen when I visited my cousins, but it had a wait list. I think of 4 years, because they couldn't handle too many members. I am always amazed at what all libraries offer. I took my parents for a AA movie showing once, set up as a once-a-month thing for seniors, and they were shocked that it was free. And they were giving cookies and stuff too, along with pleasant company. My girls have learned to love the library as much, and probably have read more books than most kids at school. My daughter won an award for some accelerated reading, and, at age 9, gave a speech about the impact of libraries for her, and how much your dad and grandpa loved theme this year. Thank you. Libraries and librarians. I actually don't properly know if this is true, but yous have like a whole aisle in your supermarkets dedicated to just the hundreds of cereals you have. The minimal amount of paid days off you get from work. A friend of mine from Wisconsin was very proud he got 20 days off per year. If someone in Germany would offer me only 20 days, I would laugh at him and leave. As an American, I think you could also ask this question to Americans, 'cause there are some weird butt states, man. I've had several German friends who are amazed that at house parties everyone actually does drink out of red Solo cups. They thought that was just a weird thing people did in movies, and now they think it is a huge conspiracy or something. Edit. Holy moly, I didn't think anyone would even see this comment. Thank you for the silver. Kind stranger. Let's have a Solo cup party. That you can identify Texans with the simple phrase, "The stars at night are big and bright." My parents were from the USSR. They were fluffing shocked on how nice you Americans are. They said that y'all a weird type of nice, but nice regardless. It didn't even matter they were from the USSR. Moved to the States post-collapse. You Americans seem to accept them anyway. Edit. I'm loving all the replies. Edit 2. Words. Edit 3. Current highest rated comment. Yeah, I guess. So apparently yellow school buses are actually a thing in America. I honestly thought it was just a cartoon thing. But nope. That Hawaiians really likes famous here. The honking. I thought it was a movie stereotype, and then I went to New York. Americans are nice and will stop to talk to strangers. Canadian here living in Alberta. To anyone who has never been, You will be blown away by the general Americans' generosity of their time, knowledge and helpfulness. I have done a few summers of road trips from Calgary. One time I went to as far east as Ohio, Tennessee, as far south as New Orleans and Dallas, went through the flatlands and rode up the Rockies the rest of the way home. I have visited almost all the landlocked states, 5 more to go, and 4 along the Gulf states, all by car. I have been through a lot of big American cities and a lot of tiny towns. All of you, north to south, make Canadians look like bloody savages. I expected something worse, probably because of television and the internet. I ended up leaving your country after the first time I visited, blown away and with a newfound very real love for my southern neighbors. Been 5 times on multi-week trips. We'll spend time and money there again. 10 out of 10. Edit. Whoa, I got my first ever gold. Thank you, hero. I will work on replies.